That's right back, Charlie. That's right.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
And with an introduction like that, what more can I say? People deluded, I'm back again. I'm on the mend. I'm not 100% fit. God knows how ill I am, people. I can't lie to you. I'm not one to disclose things, but I'll be fighting some serious demons. Just to be here is a blessing. Appreciative of you. Like, I missed you a lot, people. I hope, and I really hope to God I'm able to last the duration of that watch along, people. But we're going to get it done. Smash the like button, get your comments in, and all of those things. I feel run down. I feel absolutely battered and bruised, but we refuse to lose, people. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. It's early morning settings. Again, 11:30, we're watching Aston Villa against Arsenal. I know you lot got a bag of things to say, so let me have your opinions, people. What more? I've got nothing else. You got to win, isn't it? It's a very dark... It looked bleak against Everton. It looked crazy against Brentford. Fair enough, it's City, but it don't look good against City. And if you don't win against Aston Villa, boy, it's not nice, is it, going away from home against Unai Emery? You know, Emi Martinez is going to have the game of his life. Tyrone Mings is quite crap, in my opinion. But, you know, he signed a new deal. We're going to need everyone. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We're going to have to just get it done with, man. You know, games in hand have to correlate to 3 points. And our last 3 games in the Premier League, 4 games in all comps, we've hit a blip. It's been poor. 4 or 5 games in a positive way don't make you a good team. In the same way, 3-4 bad games don't make you a bad team. So we've got to lick our wounds and go again. It's as simple as that. Obviously, Partey is seeing the title. Lee Mason has stepped down. Just wish we could have 2 points. Someone called him a bald head bandit. Crazy. Shout out Jason. But yeah, man, obviously, let's see what Mikel Arteta has had to say. Unai Emery's had to say. Thoughts on Thomas Partey. Again, I don't know where you lot stand on Thomas Partey, people. I'm going to withhold my comments until we get there. I mean, it can never be underestimated or overstated how good of a footballer he is for Arsenal, how good he is. But the best thing that you could have as a footballer is availability. And to be fair with Thomas Partey, he has been available for the large part of the season. I think whatever he's been doing, he's been able to stay fit for the majority of it. Yes, early on in the season, him and El Nene were injured, and he's currently injured now. But it is what it is, man. You know, we've been here before. Partey can be as good as he wants. If he's not there, there's an issue. If you're relying on someone that isn't fit, there's an issue there. With his injury record, you sign up for these sort of things. So I'm quite defeated and quite accepted with certain players playing up front, with certain lack of options in midfield. Ultimately, this is the territory you're in, really. You know, we don't seem to be learning our lessons. Hope Arteta is playing mind games. I hope he's playing mind games as well. P, shout out yourself. This one is on Edu, top of the league at the transfer window, and he gets Jorginho as backup. Should have got 2 people, to be fair with you. And to be fair, Jorginho, I'd start him today. If Partey was fit, I'd drop Xhaka, to be honest, and put Jorginho there. But I've seen some people are saying, you know, take out Xhaka, put Fabio Vieira there. I'm sorry, but I'm not rocking up away from home with Martin Odegaard, Vieira in the 8, and Jorginho. That's going to get overrun. So it is what it is. If we give up on Partey, get Rice as a replacement first, then give Partey to a team in Europe, you agree, DG? No, I'd keep Thomas Partey. It's just he can't be the only guy. You know, obviously, big up El Nene. El Nene's injured as well. If Partey's not there, it's irrelevant. And with, you know, as good as Xhaka has been this season, he's a quality player. Clearly, he's not of the level to really dominate midfield and be that midfield we have. I believe in Xhaka and Partey individually. I believe in the partnership they have. I believe in the fact that they both have things to offer to the squad, especially if we're in the Champions League. But if that is our strongest midfield partnership, if that's our only midfield partnership of significance, with Xhaka kind of not reverting to type, but he had a purple patch and he's only been kind of shaky in the last couple of games, but Xhaka isn't of that standard. Partey is not. You can't really bet on him to be fit for the majority of the season. And we've got no fallout plans, no real decent backup options. We can talk about Caicedo, Zubamendi, Declan Rice, Ruben Neves, Yuri Telemans, and any other players we've been linked with until we're blue in the face. Last time I checked my skin color, I'm a browning, so we'll be here forever. It's irrelevant. This is what you sign up for. Big up Eddie Nketiah, but he's clearly not good enough to lead the line consistently. He's done quite well in the absence, and I'm not a fan of how people have just turned on him, really. Some Arsenal, how Arsenal fans live in la la land, First it's, Jesus can't get back in the team, blah, blah, blah. Now Eddie's not good enough. And I said it before, it's not fair to Eddie Nketiah. He's not good enough to lead this line consistently. He looks knackered. He definitely has qualities to bring as a rotation option and things. He's not good enough. His speed of thought is not good enough. His decision making isn't good enough. I'm not a fan of how he's been made a scapegoat for the City game, but there was a chance where I don't mind that my strikers are greedy. But if you're going to be greedy, personally, I thought the option early on in that City game could have played it into Martinelli. Cool. If you don't want to do that, work the keeper or at least have a bit more disguise on it. Everyone on their nan. Stevie Wonder could see 20 years before he shot that he was going to shoot. Ruben Diaz clamped him. Probably should have done better with the header. I think Tomiyasu in the second half put a lovely low-driven cross across the area, didn't score. I'm not going to get Eddie because he's done his bit, really, even when he hasn't scored, but he's not of the standard. So at one point, when you see certain options in midfield or lack of options or certain people consistently playing, do you keep criticizing the players or do you look at the recruitment? And I've been saying it. I have a lot of sympathies for Arteta. Not so much Edu, but them. One thing, I don't have sympathy for any problems we have with lack of personnel because we've seen this story enough times. Both men are central midfielders in Edu and Arteta, or were as players. We've seen this. Yeah, it's difficult to bring players in, blah, 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 January, summer. We live in a results-driven business. I have sympathy for you trying and you go so far. Are the players here or not? At some point, how good is a team at their weakest? You take a couple of players out of this team, we're in issues. A couple of young players lose their form. Someone like Granit Xhaka, who isn't young, but one of our first names on the team sheet, loses his form. We are in trouble. This is what you sign up for. So I wouldn't get rid of Partey, but you need to address these areas, really. There's no like for like. In the last few games against City, you saw we're unable to cut teams open. Same could be said against Newcastle. Same could be said against Everton. We also lacked physicality against Everton. We need an 8 and a 6, ideally. RIP Christian Atsu is quite shit news, to be honest with you, that he's lost. Why are you up so early on a Saturday morning? Because Arsenal play at 11:30, and with my illness, it's difficult to stay up, really. Morning, DG. Firstly, RIP to Christian Atsu. What's your prediction for today? I'm just going to do the positive thing, bro. I'm just going to do the positive thing, really and truly, to be honest with you. 2-1 Arsenal. It's a bleak place. I can't lie. I think we might hold corn today, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, DG, is it time to drop Nketiah? Because he looks knackered, you could say, yeah, but who goes up front? Trossard could do a thing there, but he's not an out-and-out striker. Martinelli could go up there. There's no Balogun. There's no random young player in the academy. And even that up front, could we do with an Ivan Toney sort of character? Could we do with a Giroud sort of character, someone a bit different from Jesus? We knew in August, Jesus gets injured. What you have to do. And as I said, Eddie's done well, and he's done his part to pull it along, but there's not a single player in that squad that can maintain their consistency from now to the end of the season, really. I hope Smith, Arteta said Smith Rowe can play as a false 9. He's on the bench, that's a good thing. I wouldn't, but yeah, a few players could get dropped. Xhaka could get dropped. Eddie could get dropped, but because of these injuries, I wouldn't drop them. I said prior to the City game and actually the Brentford game, really, that Tomiyasu could have had a look in. Tomiyasu made everyone, including myself, look a bit stupid. Benjamin White has to probably come in, but it wouldn't surprise me if Tomiyasu keeps his place. Balogun or Eddie, I think Eddie Nketiah is ahead of his development at this moment in time. But I like Balogun. He's got something special, but only God knows if he's able to maintain the form he's doing in France, translate that to the Premier League and all these things. Balogun, this is his first sort of purple patch. It's like Smith Rowe and Saka last season where they got double figures. It's a wow thing. The same double-edged sword is now you got to go do that next year, or people going to look like that. Is that a purple patch? Are you a one-season wonder? And it's unfair to just rely on these guys. And it does make me a bit pessimistic when you see what's going on with United. You see Newcastle's owners, you know, long term, what are we going to do as a football club, really? Morning, Josh. Hope you're doing well and safe. Watch Partey stay fit for the whole season when we get a replacement for him. That'll be jarring. Thomas Partey is a fantastic player, but have to go all out to get a replacement in the summer. I'm with you on that. I'm with you in that. If he's not available, it's irrelevant. Shout out the United fans. You know, not a fan of your club, but a fan of your choice and content creators. One love, my guy. Smash the like button if you haven't, man. Called him a bald head bandit. Oh, they even tried to save Lee Mason's face. Mutual consent. They clearly said, listen, you've got to leave. We'll say mutual consent. You save a bit of face. You go out a bit like a champion, if you could say that. I wouldn't say give up on Partey, but find someone just as good or better and bring them. This is the thing, you know, and again, injuries happen quite a lot. You know, you lose El Nene, who for me starts against City, plays every game that Partey isn't there at this moment in time. You lose both of them, we're in trouble. Shout out to Jorginho, looked a bit shaky against Everton, scapegoat. He done well in his last appearance. Hopefully he continues that against Aston Villa. But I would say it's one for Eddie because there's all this we tried business. In the same way, if Arteta gets his tactics wrong, if the players do bad things, they get question marks. Edu, I'm sure you tried a lot harder than we can imagine. I'm sure you know, there were some players that had spanners in the works, but it's a results-driven business. And part of me feels if you don't win the league this year, you're never going to win it, really. And we knew what was going to come with these injuries. We have had injuries prior to this now crisis that we've got of sorts, but we knew what was going to happen. Life is not Disneyland channels in that, man. We knew this was going to be a thing. Why not play Courier in centre defensive mid? You could, but he's learning English. He's young. He's still adapting. He was brought to play as a left-sided centre back. You could play him, Benjamin White, all of these guys. But how well can they play there for Arsenal in the Premier League, regardless of what they've done in Italy? Thomas Partey is more important to Arsenal than Casemiro. Casemiro don't play for Arsenal, and I think Casemiro is as vital to Man United as Thomas Partey is to Arsenal, really. If anything, United, well, you could be right, because at least United, you could say you got Fred and McTominay, whether they're good enough. For Arsenal, you have to probably change up the whole dynamic. Yeah, January transfer window lost you top 4 last year in the title this year. I mean, it's not just the transfer window. We've shot ourselves in the foot multiple times. Again, if we're comparing this Arsenal last season to this season, a team aspiring for top 4, I think we've made dramatic progress, absolute dramatic progress. We're better in big games against the top 6, as shown against, even when we've lost games against the top 6, City and United, United away, Man City at home. Obviously, we've beaten Man United, beaten Spurs _2, beaten Chelsea at their place, beaten Liverpool. Our away form has been better. There's been more consistency from our young players. We've shared out the goals. Even against City, we've reacted to individual mistakes a lot better. That's if we're comparing it to a team aspiring for top 4, which I'm proud of them. If we look at us not necessarily expecting Arsenal to win the league in August and what's become this byproduct, and we're looking at as title challenges, we've dropped too many points. We're far too naive. We've reacted well when we've lost games, but we've not come out of this blip. And we've just got too many mistakes, and we just haven't got that added grit in our team. That's not a criticism. We just don't have it. We just don't have it. We're just not nasty enough. We don't have enough options. We're a bit naive collectively as a football club. That's if we're comparing it to title challenges. We just haven't got it. And I want to be proven wrong. Mathematically could do a thing. We just haven't got it. And that's not a criticism, because we didn't expect to be in this position in August. Yes, dynamics changed, but we just haven't got it. There's nothing wrong with that. Big up DG. Partey is unique single point of failure and is fundamental to this team's success. Arsenal have had long enough to address that area. There you have it. In both the Everton loss and Man City loss, we had glaring opportunities. Need to take them today. Tell them again, man. You don't take your chances, you're in trouble, really and truly. Without Partey, you have no grit. I agree. I do think the players can slug it out, but you haven't got that. You lose El Nene. El Nene's not quite of Partey standard, or not really like for like, but that's the closest we get. Jorginho, it does intercept quite a lot and does play in the 6th role, but he plays it a lot differently, and he's easily ran through pause. It's peak, really. With McGinn, Ramsey, Luiz for Villa's midfield, likely the physical test will be important, and without Partey, I worry. Just gonna have to get on with it, man. We're gonna have to just get on with it, really, man. At this point, it's injuries happen. Injuries are not unique to us. Part of me is thinking, you know what, Kieran Tierney come out the team. Tierney come into the team. Zinchenko in midfield with Jorginho and Odegaard, really. But with Partey out, I do think you've got to play Xhaka because he's experienced. He's one of the players that kind of gets it. He keeps a cool head, if I'm completely honest with you. more nervous for today than the City game. I am as well. Well, I'm as nervous. I'm a bit pessimistic. I'm a bit feeling sorry for my football club, if I'm completely honest with you, and I'm a bit resigned to failure. But I want to be wrong. It's just what you're showing me. I can't look at anything else, really and truly. I hope to be wrong, but what shall be, man. We're at that point now, man. Like, what shall be, shall be. If we win, great. If we lose, boy, can't be using Partey as an excuse to lose every game. It's not an excuse. It does play a part, but injuries are not. You lot hear me say it all the time. Injuries are not unique to Arsenal Football Club. There's been games we've won without them, without players injured. You know, I know it's only last season, but when we beat United at home, when we beat Chelsea away, and I'm pretty sure West Ham either home or away, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was them 3 games in quick succession. We won games. Injuries happen to everyone. Get on with it. It's long, man. You've probably spoken about it, but the stat I saw coming on what big games Partey has missed is very, very concerning. I don't know if there's any proof, but somebody said Partey's actually missed 38 games for this football club. You know, and again, as much this ain't a Partey crusade. I don't know what's gone wrong. I don't know what we're doing or not doing. This season he seems to be a lot fitter. So I don't know what we're doing this year, prior to his injury, of course, this year than we've previously been doing. Barely got injured at Atletico. So what are we doing? And he's contracted until 2025 at 29 years of age is something we're going to have to address, people. You know, does it make sense giving him a new deal? He's still only, despite signing for Arsenal in whatever year, he's only played 82 times for this football club and 66 times in the league. Right, he's got 4 goals, 3 assists. It's a lot better than I thought, really. So, yeah, shout out to Thomas Partey, really. He joined in 2020. Should really have 100 Premier League appearances. Mathematically, he'll be on the verge of getting there, really. Thomas Partey injuries. Injury transfer mark. Like, how many injuries have you had? And again, I hope that I hope it's not that serious and he misses 2 games to be available for a longer time. But it feels like that El Nene stuff where Arsenal knows something the fans don't. And then a couple weeks down the line, we now find out how serious this injury is. I'm not too sure on any of that, people. But when you look at it, obviously this season he hasn't been injured that much. He did have some 5 problems and he missed 4 games. He's currently been out for 8 days and he's missed 2 games. So he's missed 6 games this year, people. Last year, boy, missed a hell of a lot, didn't he? And then you look at it at Atletico, he only missed 7 games. So what are we doing? He's been ever present this year in comparison to what he's normally been. Like in the Premier League, yeah, he started off this, he got injured at a midpoint in the season. Then he's been ever present. Now he's injured again. So we were doing something different, or he's doing something different. I don't know if that's rehab. I don't know if that's a lifestyle change. I don't know if he's eating different. I don't know. But last season, the man couldn't stay fit. And the season before that, you weren't even at the club. You must have been in 2020, 21. Still the same issues, but to be fair, he had a strong period towards the end. This is why we need backup options. I mean, Thomas Partey's manager, Mikel Arteta, said Mikel to make late calls on Partey and Smith Rowe. We've heard Smith Rowe has travelled and Partey hasn't. But for what it's worth, we'll have to assess Thomas again today, which was yesterday. He has some muscle discomfort and we'll have to see how it is. Jorginho has come into the team and earned the respect of everyone. You see his leadership, his understanding of the game, how he's coaching everybody. I think he had a really good game. That's true. You need players with those experiences that can guide, lead, give them reassurances and show others the path how to get it done. And you just need better players. That's what we're talking about. If you want to win the league, you have to dig deep. Sometimes you have to win it in the 96th minute. Sometimes you have to play with 10 men. You have to win it in many different contexts. Fair enough, Mikel, whatever that means. Emil is training today, and if he's fine, he'll be in the squad. It's very difficult to play tomorrow, but we'll have full energy. It's not a worry. I want the players to be in the best possible mindset and physically ready to get that challenge going. We knew that we would be playing within that time frame. That's not an excuse. Shout out the gaffer in that regard. Smash the like button. Apparently, Chris Wheatley said Arsenal received injury update on Thomas Partey ahead of Aston Villa. Clash, Thomas Partey won't be risked for Arsenal against Aston Villa on Saturday. London World understands. Partey sustained a muscular injury in the final training session ahead of Arsenal's clash against Manchester City and was replaced in the starting 11 by new signing Jorginho. It's what happens in football, Arteta said. So if it happens, why don't we have adequate cover? And that's actually not at Arteta, because your job is to identify targets. Edu, what's going on? Do we make excuses or do we make results? Anywho, we don't know how bad it is. It's what happens. It's part of football. I think Jorginho played a good game. We'll have to assess Thomas to see how bad it is. Crazy. Well, at least Smith Rowe is there, I guess. And when you look at Thomas Partey's games, he's allegedly missed people. Again, the big games as well, the crucial games, man. The crucial ones. Spurs, Chelsea, City, Chelsea, City. He hates playing City, and it's like he knows what time it is. Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham, Newcastle, United, City. The best ability you can have is availability, man, if I'm very harsh. His injury record since joining us is ridiculous. There's something seriously wrong. Can't be a coincidence. Numbers don't lie. Partey's becoming jarring now. Squad player next season. The club knows about his injury record. No excuse. We need an upgrade in the summer. Hopefully Partey doesn't, because Partey's actually good. I don't know for that navigator. One more season at least have. But I'm keeping Partey until his contract runs out. It's just now you either have a suitable like-for-like replacement, or it's very difficult, but you have someone better than him. Either way, I don't want to care about if Partey's there and whatnot. You know, you need a next striker. You need another midfielder or midfielders. Probably need a right back. No, that stat is fraudulent. I can't overlook that. Bro needs to be put in some freeze chamber or something before these games. I don't know what he's doing, man. On the topic of Lee Mason, completely off topic, people, he has left the Premier League. You know, he leaves as a Premier League VAR referee. He departs the PGMOL by mutual consent after his staggering offside mistake cost Arsenal all 3 points in the clash against Brentford. I would say happy retirement. I hope your wife leaves you, man. I know I shouldn't say that, but it's my football club, man. Was this him saying sorry? Nah. Oh, this is what Arteta said. I don't want to hear nothing. That's all I've got to say on my man. There is something else there that's supposed to be here. Obviously, if you don't remember, against Spurs, people, unfortunately, Aaron Ramsdale was assaulted by a fan. That fan has been banned from football matches for 4 years. I think he has to do community service and ordered to pay £100 to Ramsdale in compensation. Send him to jail, man. I mean, this 35-year-old from Hackney. So if you're an Hackney Arsenal fan, slap him in his face. Apparently works at Wetherspoons. He deserves that, man. He got off lightly, really. He's been given a 12-month community order. Crack cocaine or cocaine and alcohol is a dangerous thing to some football fans, innit? Carrying on like one idiot. But anyways, Thomas Partey's a myth, really, man. But yeah, every word from Mikel Arteta's pre-Aston Villa presser. On Thomas Partey, we've already offered that. We've spoken about Smith Rowe. We know Gabriel Jesus is not playing later today, people, so there's no need to ramble about that. On the fresh challenge of being second in the league table, that's an opportunity. We talked about it for a few months now. The position that we're in, the way the team is playing, and all the right things that we have to continue to do, earn the right to be there. We've seen where the level is. We want to be at that level, and we are on that journey. There were a lot of positives to take from the Man City game. Yeah, there was, but there's a lot of negatives. And fundamentally, we didn't take 3 points and we didn't arrest this bad form. I hope your wife leaves you, man. With that sort of decision making, but I hope your wife leaves you. I hope you end up sad, lonely, and I won't say depressed because that's sad, but bro, you shagged my football club. We could have ended the trophy of the big one in 20 years. I don't care about you, Lee Mason, and you'll see you next Tuesday on the best of days. Wish nothing but failure for you, man. Hope the yard gets repossessed as well. God forgive me. In fact, Lee Mason, suck him up, man. Anyways, I've seen it with my own eyes in 2 games, but the level of efficiency has to be extremely good. Every single ball to beat them at the end. We are on a journey. We want to be there again. The team is highly motivated because just in case you didn't see it on the pitch or didn't feel it after the game because of the result, I showed them yesterday on whether Champions League football is the minimum. The minimum is that today they train exceptionally well. Arteta's learned from Arsene Wenger. They're in it. On whether individual errors were why they lost, well, it's a major reason. You know, Tomiyasu doesn't do that. But, you know, Tomiyasu doesn't do that. Gabriel doesn't do that. They might not score as easily. But it's not just individual errors. You know, we didn't. What happened in the second half? Watching the game twice, two completely different teams. The first half was very even. Even before City switched to a back 4 and Bernardo Silva went right wing, the game was lost. We weren't efficient or effective in the final third. We didn't win the midfield battle. These are things that have been plaguing us against Everton, against Brentford, City the first time round in the FA Cup, and ultimately in that game. Even sometimes when we've made these individual errors, we've won games. These things have been there all season. You have to give credit to a team when they beat you, that's true. But when you analyze the game, again, I think we lost it. Arteta is doing the Wenger thing, saying a whole lot of nothing there. On the atmosphere in the stadium on Wednesday, shout the Arsenal fans. You know they'll be noisy today, and they were noisy then. Our fans were exceptional in the game, supporting and inspiring the team. Obviously, there was an incident at the end that nobody's going to tolerate in our stadium, and the club is investigating that issue. That's obviously in relation to bottles being thrown at Kevin De Bruyne. If I could look again, Arteta, Kevin De Bruyne deserves to push you because you was being a bit of a twat. But on another day, I might be acting a bit. But could Arteta have dived? The minute Kevin De Bruyne pushed him, could he have hit the deck? Who knows? Kevin might have been sent off. And I don't know why our players weren't surrounding Kevin De Bruyne and backing it. I'm not too sure. But again, I'm probably acting. Nothing would have happened. But when Kevin pushes him, maybe if he dives, it's physical assault, call the police, if that's what you lot on. Kevin gets sent off, it's 10 men. We need to start being nastier as a football team and a bit dirty, really and truly. Just like the Invincibles were, any title league winning team. On the results of our past 3 games, you want to get maximum points, and we didn't in the last 3 games. We have to look at ourselves. We have to be more efficient with the amount of play and situations we have made. We haven't generated enough points, and that's down to us. We have to improve that because we want to win more games. When asked about a quick turnaround, he said, that's what we want to do. The schedule is a bit unusual, but it is what it is. The players are highly motivated for tomorrow's game because we want to perform well and win the game. Again, RIP Christian Atsu. Would love Onana and Zubamendi in the summer. You got to do shame, bro. You got to be shameless. You think Perez weren't taking dives? You think them United dons didn't cheat all the time when we lost our unbeaten record? You think Chelsea did it legitly? You think City did it legitly? You got to, sometimes you got to get your hands dirty to live clean, man. Shout out yourself, Top Blue. I'm here for this. I mean, Arsenal has been overperforming. It's completely fine to lose to City. They're still top with same points in the game in hand. That's cool, man. But keep going. He needs to hold that, man. He needs to hold that. No, I can't lie. That's hilarious. The fan has to pay big baller Rams. What, £100? Like, what's that going to do? I mean, what is that going to do for him, man? Hit him in his pocket, man. Make him put on an Arsenal shirt as well. Make him do some community service in the Emirates, man. If I'm completely honest with you. What a silly idiot, man. I hope he lost. I hope that Don lost his job. In this climate, I don't want anyone to lose your job, but silly idiot like that, he clearly weren't thinking about his job or his daughter and all these things that when you read the reports came out when he decided to kick Ramsdale. One of these days, one fan is going to get too over familiar and you're going to see the spirit of Eric Cantona. Just someone will get hurt, man. Anywho, people, that's what we want to do. The schedule is a bit unusual, but it is what it is. The players are highly motivated for tomorrow's game because we want to perform well and win the game. On Unai Emery, he always puts up a very difficult test, and he beat you the last time we played each other. He's a very good manager, and I have huge respect for what he's done in every club and the success he's had. On the team's high level of motivation after Wednesday's defeat, I mean, show me on the pitch. Because they realized on the pitch and how they feel on the pitch when they're coming up against the best team that this league has had in decades and how they performed against them, I sense a lot of belief. Yeah, they were hugely disappointed not to get the result, but not that long ago, we were looking there and saying, guys, we are so far, we still need to improve. And now we are closer, but it wasn't enough because they were more efficient than us. Amen. On how big the gap is between us and City, I don't care what the league table says, it's massive. You know, City are, I think everyone who doesn't support Man City envies that team. The game management, the nastiness, obviously the technical ability, the technical level, the quality of player, these things are evident. But their game management, the way the managers reacted to obviously the 3 at the back not working, they're better than us across every aspect. So we should aspire to be like that. There's a fat gap. I don't care what the league table says. City are there, we're there. And that's not to criticize us. We've made some great progress. One day we might be there, but this is the levels. They've been doing it for years, majority of them. We've done it for a couple months if we're just going off this season. Anywho, I don't know. In terms of points, we don't know. The feeling I had on the pitch was in many situations, we matched them. And in many situations, we were better than them. But in the boxes, they were far better than us. Well, that's all that matters. If you're in a boxing match, yeah, you can land some punches on the guy. But who hit the deck? Who won the fight? Whether it's on points or in general. On what's giving him belief in his players. I mean, if Arteta don't believe in his players, then we're not where we are, innit? That's when it comes to a match like the other day against a team who I know pretty well and the players are able to produce what they produced. It gives me a lot of belief that we are going in the right direction. And how impressed he was by Jorginho. He's really good. He comes into the team and earned the respect of everybody. You see his leadership, his understanding of the game, how he's coaching everyone. I think he had a really good game. When in relation to Trossard starting, for me, I'd love to see Trossard start today. Big up Martinelli, but we just need something else now. Not even just necessarily Martinelli, something else just needs to try something. He's had an impact every time he's been on the pitch, so he's an option. If it's frustrating to play on Wednesday night and then on Saturday lunchtime, it's very difficult to play tomorrow, but we will have full energy. It's not a worry. I want the players to be in the best possible mindset and physically ready to get that challenge. Go ahead, no excuses. If the players can be at their physical best, having played on Wednesday night, they are young, they have a lot of energy. If the pressure on the title race could take its toll on the inexperienced players. If you want to be at the top, you have to go and experience it. Looking at what they did the other day, it gives me a lot of encouragement to think they're ready. And if he's tempted to freshen up the team on Saturday, every week we consider the best possible option for players. So why do you play favourites all the time? And where they are in terms of performance mentally and physically, and for sure tomorrow we'll do it again. And if teams play more direct against us is a compliment to the way we've played this season. Sometimes it's the opponent's game plan. Sometimes they have a completely different game plan that they have to adapt during the game. Possession is very important. That's what you do with it, depending on where it is and what you produce with it. We're a team that wants to have the ball and we want to dominate games. On whether he'll continue playing out from the back in the right areas against the right players pressing, yes, if not no. On whether it is better to be the hunter rather than the hunted in the title race, bro, it's better to be the hunted. You know, if you stay being the hunted top position, you win the thing, don't you? But for Arsenal, it might be good being second best, really. And that I think that helped City because Pep was playing mind games. The players were playing mind games. Arsenal went from this anomaly to, you know, people putting the pressure cooker on and City just slowly but surely creeping. I want to have as many points as possible, as early as possible. Amen. It's not about looking at the table. I don't look at the table. I ain't looked since August, mate. It's about performing every single day and winning matches, what you have done. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, at the end of May, you have to have a certain amount of points to win it. Obviously, Villa Park is a very difficult ground to go to. I don't need to bother you with you lot on that. On whether we struggle against low blocks, clearly. How many low blocks have we faced this season? 16. To be fair, we have broken down low blocks, but I think we can't break that down consistently. That's not a strength of ours. And we have won a lot of those games, and we have merited at the end to have won most of those games. But then it is about efficiency. When they block everything and the ball doesn't go into the net, it's great if you win 2-0. Then you played the low block really well. It's always going to depend on certain things. There are always things that we have to improve, and our efficiency in the box has not been good as it was to win football matches. Amen. And tomorrow we'll have to be really high to beat them. Pick up the gaffer. On the reaction in the room when the squad watched the City game back, more clarity, just in case they had any doubt. On if the players will be more motivated after Wednesday, I think so. To step up, you need players with those experiences that can guide, lead, give them reassurances and show them the path, how it gets done. That's what we're talking about. If you want to win the league, you have to dig deep. Sometimes you have to lose 1 or 2 matches and merit to win it and then lose it. Sometimes you have to win it in the 96th minute. Sometimes you have to play with 10 men. You have to win it in many different contexts. Smash the like button, Twitch gang, one love. On if he felt we were always going to suffer at some point, of course. I cannot show you now. I could show you in pre-season because I knew it was coming. Amen. On if the league should review their schedules to avoid tight turnarounds between games. Well, there are certain rules with the Champions League where if you play on Wednesday night, you cannot play on Saturday. I think that should apply to any competition. Well, if we get in the Champions League, we can benefit from that. On if that has been discussed in the Premier League manager meetings, yes. That's why I think the changes were made towards the Champions League teams especially. But following the same principle you're talking about psychologically, that is not psychologically, but whatever that word, it is very difficult to turn around in that period to get the best outcome and reduce the anger there is for the players. On if he will have to make changes against Villa, we knew that we'd be playing within that time frame. That's not an excuse. Well, I don't know if we can even afford to make changes. We'll leave that for the watch along. Una Emre's been speaking on his time at Arsenal. At Arsenal, I had very good experiences. I enjoyed it there. I was there for 1.5 years. You have to use those moments to learn, to get stronger. And I think I became a better coach after my experiences. I'm so grateful to Arsenal, to the owners and to the supporters, to the players. But my new way is here at Aston Villa. And, you know, we had to really dig in deep to beat Aston Villa at home. They gave us a game. If I remember correctly, didn't Douglas Luiz score from a corner or something? Let's pattern up today. And to be fair, in the same way when we was winning, everyone wanted to be the guys to beat Arsenal. We're a bit like a bruised animal. It's like we're in the wild where we're a deer that's broken its leg and there's lions about now. It's peak. Don't let that be the case. I'm very grateful to everyone here, and I'll use my experiences that I added to in Arsenal to use here now and get better with Aston Villa. Okay, make sure you play there too. You played Mkhitaryan and those were as wingers. Whoever's Aston Villa's 2 most creative players, play them as wingers/wingbacks. Tomorrow, our challenge is clear. Our objective is not to change. When I arrived here, we were bottom. We progressed. Then 2 weeks ago, before the match against Aston Villa, we were very excited about the possibility to get in the top 10 and close to playing in Europe next year. The target is the same as before against Leicester, and after the 2 games we lost, we must try to escape the bottom. We are not there yet. We're trying to add points and to get to the top 10. And if we catch some teams, we are going to try and do that. Now we can only think about each match. And tomorrow we are facing Arsenal. They're a really good team in a very good moment. Their last matches won't change their confidence and how they're progressing, how they are playing, and their possibilities to win the title this year. I don't know about title challenge. I don't check the league table. Nonetheless, Tyrone Mings has signed a new deal. Again, referees, I know Tyrone Mings has got a lot of love for Bukayo Saka, but last time I checked, you cannot bear hug someone. If he does that, please point to the spot. Now that he's signed a new deal, he's going to play like a primed left-footed Rio Ferdinand. But in terms of their team news, Tyrone Mings will be assessed. Hopefully, I'd rather you play because you're crap, if I'm honest with you. I mean, Bertrand Traore be in the squad. Apparently, Diego Carlos has rejoined the squad. Yeah, I don't know why we're looking at that, but we are in it, people. Arsenal have kept 7 clean sheets away from home this season, more than any other team in the Premier League. That needs to happen. Today, Arsenal have won away from home 13 times at Villa Park, more often than at any other stadium away from home in the Premier League. Only Brighton with 9 and Aston Villa with 8 have scored more goals in the opening 15 minutes of Premier League matches than Arsenal 7 this season. Since Unai Emery was appointed, Aston Villa have picked up just 4 points fewer than Arsenal, having played 1 game less. Ollie Watkins has scored 3 Premier League goals against Arsenal. The only team he has netted more against is Liverpool. Aston Villa have conceded the most, 9 goals in the opening 15 minutes this season, while Arsenal have conceded the fewest. So let's start fast. Simple as that. We start fast, we might have a chance, man. I'll be real, I'm shook. I'm prepared for the worst, expecting something hopeful today, people. I can't lie to you. But what can you blame me with the way we've been playing of recent? I don't think you can. Conference reaction. Partey thoughts. Sorry, folks, just making a timestamp. Spurs with more attacking threat from the stands, huh? Shout out to all the people who knew he'd get injured as soon as the window shut. No, I can't lie, that's hilarious. The fan has to pay big pool at Ramsdale. It is what it is, man. What else have we got? Appreciate you lot's comments. Arsenal need Declan Rice to replace Partey. Bro, Declan Rice, Zubamendi, Ruben Neves, Joe Blogs. I don't care who it is. Just find someone in it. Because if you want to go Caicedo, if you want to go after these guys that half the players linked with Arsenal, hella other teams are, get over the line. Or if not, find these guys before they become relative household names or find alternatives. Either way, I don't like we tried. I don't like, it doesn't help. As you see, Partey's injured. We can't go, we tried to sign Caicedo on the last couple of days of January. Who knows? If you started trying to gas him in the first couple of weeks of January or days, it might have been a different outcome. Yo, DG, let's hope for the best. And for starters, Arteta needs to innovate and mix it up. We're stale the past few games. If the opposition are forced into playing low blocks, the match is half already won. In theory, but we've seen it's gone against us. For this game, would you go Tierney left back and Zinchenko in midfield instead of Xhaka? On one hand, yes, but I'm just weary of Xhaka and Partey not being in the team, really. So I think that Xhaka needs to be dropped. I'll be real with you. I don't think he's been at it. I do want Zinchenko in midfield because as much as he conducts the game from left back on one hand, like someone said, we need to switch things up, man. Nottingham Forest at home is a lot easier than Villa away. Don't be too downhearted. At the end of the day, beware of haters. Yeah, trust. Oh, Nana, to be fair, Nana said he wanted to stay. Zubamendi said, I don't want to leave until January. Caicedo wanted to sign. Brighton didn't want to sell. So I have sympathy. Arteta and Edu did try, but it doesn't. Well, specifically Edu, you did try, but it only goes so far. Are you gonna get it done, or try and only go so far, man? Like, if you lot trying some of your jobs and you don't necessarily do it well, you don't keep your roles, do you? And you find yourselves with P45s, or unfortunately at the job center. Big up DG, 200k, 250k a week for a squad player. I'm not sure that works. Partey has to start or be replaced by elite players. I'm not too sure that's a thing. Look at City. Like, look at Manchester City. Let's not look at the piece. For me, Partey would start week in, week out. But if you bring in somebody level, same way with Tierney, you got someone better in Zinchenko in terms of what Arteta wants. A byproduct is he becomes a squad player. It don't really matter what you're getting paid, really. Partey's a quality player, can help us with the Champions League, regardless of who comes in or not. If you do your job, you'll play. There's no point. Obviously, there's a couple of exceptions to the rule, but in theory, you're not going to bring in players that are not better than what you have. So I'm not too sure we agree, man. Shout out, Rochelle. Big up, DG. It's been a while. Hope you feel better soon. We need a Brentford away from this season. Type of performance won't be easy, but we need to stand up to be counted today, man. You replace Partey, and on one hand, who do you bring in? Because we've only got Partey because he's got a release clause, if you don't remember. Who do you bring in? So I'm not too sure I agree with that. To be fair, Partey, I don't think he gets a new deal, contracted until 2025, turning 30. The same goes for Xhaka to a degree. My only fear is that we never replace players before they need replacing. I'm not saying sell them, get rid of them. Don't wait till they've really fallen off. Like when we had Jens Lehmann in goal and he was dropping clangers. What about Jorginho? Jorginho deserves to start today. I'm starting him today. You know, he was the first one people were looking at and saying, oh, you're going to be in trouble against City. You're probably our best player on the pitch, give or take. Deserve to start today. Shout yourself, Oliver. Don't know what you've missed, really. Tactically, Villa is a perfect matchup for us. They don't have enough to hurt us on the break. We just need these boys sharp. I'm not too sure about that. Ironically, I'd have been more worried if it was Gerrard in charge, as the energy in their press would have been. I'd be more confident. I'm a bit different. I'd be more confident, my guy. You know, if Gerrard was in charge. Emre's a bit of a madman. Mudryk and Caicedo and y'all would have won the league. Not too sure it's as white and black as that. Big up from the motherland. Shout the Kenyans. DG, what do you think the mindset of the fans will be if we get a draw from this game? I mean, I can't speak for anyone but myself, but a lot of fans, Arsenal fans are weird, man. There's very few level-headed football fans in general for all clubs. Some fans live in la-la land positively and negatively. Some people just want to waffle about the negatives. Some people want to overcompensate from the positives. I mean, on one hand, we're overachieving at this moment, but overachieving at what? If the season ends today, we finish second. There's no title for that. So you just have to keep it cool. There was inevitably going to be this. A lot of things that have harmed us against City. And the last couple of games we've dropped points, they've been there against Leeds. Ironically, against Aston Villa at home, against West Ham. We've been having, for example, them individual errors. We've just been getting away with it. Morning, mate. I don't think Mudryk and Caicedo would help us win the league. It's a team game and a blip was always on the cards. We need to get our siege mentality back. Yeah, we just have to roll our socks up and don't feel sorry for ourselves. The last time you played versus Emre, Arsenal didn't score in 2 legs. They're gonna have to pattern up today. I would be happy, way more confident with Gerrard. Gonna have to prove that wrong today, man. There's nothing else I can say other than stand up to be counted. We either feel sorry for ourselves or we get on with it. 57 likes, people keep running it up. We just have to get on with it. To be honest, especially with injuries, I got a lot of time for Arteta. I have no sympathy for any injuries that you have to deal with. I've got no sympathy for Edu because we knew what time this was. Injuries are not unique to Arsenal. We're not the only club that has had injuries. Clearly, some injuries are kinder than others, but we've had this. You know, the August window shut in September, the work should have been done to bring in a suitable midfielder or two. Fair enough, you got in Jorginho. We've been seeing this. If we really bet on Eddie Nketiah to lead the line from Jesus getting injured till now, we're smoking something special. He's done his job very well, Eddie Nketiah. I think I've always maintained, some of you have been here, I think it's unfair on Eddie Nketiah to believe he could do it. But that's what we've done. So you got to live or die by it. These are the decisions we've made on the tactical front. We should beat them. I hope so, man. Shout out the Kenyans. That's why I hate when Graham Potter uses it as an excuse for 2 wins in 15 games. Jorginho isn't much different from El Nene. The ball progression just isn't there. This will definitely exaggerate Partey's absence. 2 very different players. The media have killed us with kindness with regards to our football and absolutely trashed us with regards to anything else. Arteta and our players' conduct is getting dragged through the mud. I mean, we just got to air the media. You know, we've just got to air the media. The same media that last season writ us off after 3 games, and then we're saying we're building something special. It's crazy. Did Arsenal make a mistake not bringing Balogun from loan to help? We'd have a stronger. He's got stability there. He's away from the volatility of this season. He's probably going to sit on the bench or be rotated. You know, the minute Jesus is back, Eddie and him are holding bench. Minutes are currency. Let him stay out there and develop and come back in August. Well, June, July, August, September, whatever. A more confident player. And then if Arteta thinks he could use him. Or if not, let him go on loan or whatever. The way rival fans have overreacted over the last week is crazy. Win and we're favourites again. I think we just got to, we just reset. Same way at the start of the season, we didn't do anything. We've just got to reset because if I'm completely honest with you, we need to go on a winning run. It starts today. Like it really starts today. Again, I'm very pessimistic about us winning the league title. I've been like that from August. I want to be wrong. I just don't think we've got the minerals, even though we're doing good things. But if you were to prove me wrong, I can't lie. Until we play Liverpool, you need to go on a winning run. And it's easier said than done. You got to win today against Villa. You saw what Leicester did against Spurs. You need to win there. You need to get revenge on Everton. You need to beat Bournemouth. Fulham away is not easy at all. As you know, United, when they won, they had to suffer. You know, Chelsea drew, forgive me if I'm wrong. No one wants to play Fulham. We suffered against Fulham at the Emirates. You need to win that. Crystal Palace is not going to be easy. Hopefully we can sort Patrick Vieira out. Just let us get them 3 points. Leeds are fighting relegation. You've got to be easy. But until we go to Anfield, you got to win every game. Lord knows how many points that is off the top of my head, but you got to pick up all them points. If I'm completely honest, you can't afford to draw. Because in my opinion, I'd love to be wrong. I hope City now go and lose a couple games, but I think City are going to go on a madness. You need to win every game. I can't lie. For what's left of February and March and April up until Liverpool, you need to go undefeated. You need to. Because once April now comes, it's peak. You know, Leeds are going to be fighting relegation them times. You go to Anfield where we don't travel well to. West Ham away, it is what it is. Southampton, we need to try a thing. Again, if you're going to pip City to the title, you need to, out of the available 6 points, 3 points now, you need to beat them. You've got Chelsea, regardless of their form, they're going to want revenge. Newcastle away is not pretty. Brighton at home is not pretty. Boy, you need to win every game. Every game. There's no, except nothing else. Need to win every game. You've shown the capacity to go on a winning run. You know, you still look at it. Ironically, it's still been a good season. How many losses do we have? What? Lost to United, lost to City. There's therefore a next loss there. I think it's 3 losses. Or am I wrong, people? City, United, Everton. Yeah, 3 losses and a couple draws there. So you've done perfect. So you have the capacity to go do that. It's easier said than done. It doesn't matter about games in hand. You can't look at these teams and say, oh, yeah, we should win. If I'm honest with you, the only teams that on paper I expect to win, if you put a gun to my head, Bournemouth, that has to be 3 points. That has to be 3 points. That has to be 3 points. You should be beating Leeds. You should be beating Crystal Palace. They struggle to score goals. You should be thumping up Leicester away from home. You should be moving to Everton, especially because we lost to them. Sean Dyche or not, you should be smacking Leeds up. West Ham, I don't want to hear nothing. You should be smacking them up, talking to Declan Rice in the tunnel and making sure he signs next season. Because when it gets to April, it's mad. It's very mad. It's a tough run to the end of the season. So, boy, who knows? But we need to stay on. In my opinion, we can't lose a game in March, and we can't lose now in it, really. So it's down to these boys. Easier said than done. As you know, football matches are very high demand, and you can't just look on paper and say you should do this and that. But yeah. And it just makes you wonder, you know, again, you can't go back in time. Again, if we're focusing on top 4, as I said earlier, nothing but praise. But if we're looking at it from a team that could win the league, and you're chasing City who are near enough perfect, boy, you know, it makes you wonder, had you have taken points from a winning position against Southampton and against Brentford where we dropped points, had we have ended the game better in the second half against Man City, had we have had certain personnel so we don't rock up with Lokonga, not that he's to blame, rock up with Lokonga at Old Trafford. Had we have beaten Everton, turned up and thumped them up, no one's going to give you 3 points. It's very difficult. So we've dropped about 10 to 15 points if we're looking at the league title. As I said, if we're judging it on a top 4 team, our performances away from home, the grit, the determination, the reactions to mistakes, the ability to bounce back, you know, sharing out the goals, I'm proud of that. But if for you that are looking at the league table or the league title, better yet, it's different dynamics now because you're chasing City, who on the worst of days are massively better than everyone. I think we win 4-0 today. Be great for morale, man. Palace is always a problem, man. Always. Do you think Eddie dropped the ball in the January transfer window? Clearly. You tried to get João Felix. I'm not begrudging you for not paying the fees. Didn't bang. Mudryk didn't bang. I'm not begrudging you if you didn't want to pay the fees, but you didn't get over the line, and that was Arteta's top target. Moses Caicedo, like with Douglas Luiz, trying to get it done on the last day of the season, didn't bang. Fair enough, you got Jorginho and Trossard. We then heard they were offered by their agents to us, which big it up because we got them, but boy, it's another one you're looking at Eddie like he done something good, but it's crazy. Trossard instead of Martinelli. I'll take a win anyhow it comes. Arsenal 2 wins versus 9 in last 9 against Palace. You need to be winning that. I'll hold it if we don't, but this has to be a statement. But just reaction, man. I don't care how we win, just winning it. Just win the games, man. Palace is every game is a problem. I'm shook to go to Fulham away. I'll be real. Fulham away is difficult with the form they're in. Very scary team to play against. But this is the Premier League. This is what it's like now. Everyone's difficult. Everyone's scary. You know, even games that, you know, on paper are not the most dramatic. Leeds, Leeds is one of the best 3 points we picked up this season because I saw the grit, I saw the determination. Leeds, reaction to Fulham, West Ham, Aston Villa were playing today at home. Them games were tougher than Chelsea away. Even Man United at home, because both teams were doing foolishness. Really, when they took the lead, conceded very quickly. We scored and then conceded from a silly set piece. So we're gonna have to react, man. We're gonna have to react. What's this with Jorginho? So what it is. I mean, we can humor ourselves, people, if you lot want, with some transfer news. Not that it's the time to discuss any of these things. Let's look at what these things. Apparently, we've been charged by the FA. Pardon me, we've probably got a direct debit set up, to be fair with you. We're doing that all the time, aren't we? Fulham are very well coached. I don't think Felix would have fitted in your team. Come on. João Felix would have fitted in this Arsenal team. If he shined at Chelsea, João Felix would have fitted in this Arsenal team. Slap Odegaard in that Xhaka role, put João Felix in that 10, or play João Felix off that left as a free role. Come on, mate. João Felix wouldn't thrive in this Arsenal team that's sharing out the goals and playing football. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Who said I'm surprised? Charge for what? Us and City surrounding the players. Come on, man. Come on. I respect everyone's opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong, but João Felix wouldn't have banged in this Arsenal team. Come on. Come on. Worst players are shining. Come on, man. João Felix, he's one that you just can't hate on him, innit? He's Mudryk. I'm enjoying every bit of negative form. I hope it's not one where he finds his feet and settles and things like that. But yeah, sharing my screen with you. Look, let's start with Jorginho. I'm proud of the team. New Arsenal signing Jorginho Hell's performance against City, but insists his side must work harder. What specifically have you said, mate? These big games are about details, which some fans don't seem to get. It doesn't matter if you were better than the team for 20 minutes or whatever. It's played in the middle of the park. It's decided in both boxes. We weren't efficient or effective in their final third. In our final third, we didn't defend well enough, man. It is what it is. These big games are about details. We made mistakes and they punished us. But I haven't seen too many teams put in that sort of performance against City. It's almost like City haven't lost the game this season. We probably have seen that. And to be honest, I'm proud of the team. We have an amazing group of guys here, and the energy of the stadium was really incredible. Everything is there for us. We just need to start believing even more. I agree with that, man. Scrolling all the way down. What is that? It, Jorginho. They gassed it. That article gassed me. How's Jorginho settled quickly at Arsenal to bring cool head to title bid? Really? What's been said here specifically? The 31-year-old brings a wealth of experience to this young Arsenal squad after winning the Champions League and European Championship during his career. Jorginho has been at Arsenal a matter of weeks, but he's already made an impression on several young players, as you should. I mean, regardless what you think about Jorginho, there's so much that these lot could learn from him. The Italian has not been afraid to voice his opinions in training, and his demand for high standards underlines why Arteta pushes to sign him on deadline day. I mean, Thiago Silva said that when he was departing the club. He's an amazing player, big personality, huge experience as well. And you could actually see against City, he was, I don't know what he was saying to Eddie Nketiah, but he's shouting at Eddie Nketiah probably to stop flipping being greedy. And he's telling Tomiyasu to overlap. So it is what it is. He knows how to win, and for sure he's going to help us a lot. Jorginho already feels settled at Arsenal, moving into a house in the local area after having enough of the M25 traffic to get to London Coley. He has struck a close relationship with fellow midfielder Granit Xhaka, and the pair recently dined together at Mayhill's restaurant in Cockfosters, a favourite of many Arsenal players. It's quite late, all the academy players like going there. Jorginho looked settled on the pitch too, and it was noticeable during Wednesday's game that he was ordering teammates around during a break in play. Arteta also called him over for a chat, and an indication he is viewed as one of the manager's tactical leaders. I mean, him, Odegaard, Zinchenko, Granit Xhaka, they're like the sub-coaches within the team. We know that. Arteta's faith in the player should come as no surprise, as he called for Man City to sign Jorginho when he was an assistant to Pep Guardiola. Well, that's great. Fair enough. I mean, it's a bit cringy. What's Thierry Henry said about Arsenal? He urges Arsenal to keep their composure. Big up, King Thierry. What have you said? I know you said some gospel without even knowing. They came to your place and beat you. Can you show Can you now show that you can respond? I think it means since the beginning of the season, City was responding to what you were going. Can you keep your composure? Go to Villa and rectify that straight away at the weekend and show you can be with them all the way and try to do something at their ground, because now it's going to be difficult. Just stay calm. You lost against a great team today. We mentioned they had Foden and Akanji come on. Do you have the same bench at Arsenal? I'm not too sure. But keep your composure. You lost that one. It doesn't mean now that everything now has to go in the bin. Keep your composure and go and rectify that game against Villa and see what you can do. You still have a game in hand. Now it's going to be tough, though. Big him up, man. Big him up. Shout out King Thierry. But yeah, apparently we've been charged, people. Arsenal and City have been charged after their players surrounded the match official at different times during the Premier League's fixture on Wednesday, the 15th of February. It's alleged that both clubs failed to ensure their players conducted themselves in an orderly fashion, with Arsenal players surrounding the match official during the 56th minute and Manchester City's doing so in the 42nd and 64th minute. Both clubs have until Tuesday, the 21st of February to provide their respective responses, people, whatever that means. Barcelona best place to sign Brazilian striker amid Arsenal, PSG and Chelsea interest. We've heard about Victor Roque already, people. Apparently Fabrizio Romano has said we sent scouts to go and watch him as well, people. You've got Torino, Inter Milan, I think that means Milan, and AC Milan also looking at him, people. Atletico, as well as West Ham, who had a bid rejected from him in January. And as I mentioned, PSG and Chelsea, the 17-year-old's quite the decent player, people. They want his release clause of 50-odd million. This is saying 35 to 40. So we'll have to see how that one develops. We did see Arsenal have reignited their interest in Inter Milan striker Lautaro Martinez ahead of the summer window. Sources have told Football Insider it's believed Martinez would be very keen on a move, and a fee between 70 and 80 million could be enough to secure his signature, if that's what you believe. Mikel Arteta has already tried to sign play. He says he loves Arsenal. What's this? We already know Rafinha turned us down. Apparently, he was doing a TikTok vid and he said I love Arsenal. And then he said something about liking Arsenal and PSG. So why was we your third choice behind Barcelona and Chelsea? Forget that, man. It's dead. We've heard that we're in talks for Ansu Fati. I don't quite believe that, so I'm not going to bore you lot. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti was quite blasé, and he basically said, I don't care if Asensio signs a new deal or not. So again, full circle with them links. We've been linked with Limstrong again. We've been linked with Marcus Rashford on current form. We could do with him off the left, but that's a myth. We're keeping tabs on James Maddison. Mitoma, 35 million. As much as I like Mitoma, if we're going to buy someone from Brighton that's not Moses Caicedo, you might as well buy McAllister, if I'm honest. Saliba's close to signing a new extension. Declan Rice rumors once again. Apparently, where Reece Nelson and Balogun are concerned, we haven't made decisions on their futures, people. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on there. But that seems a bit dead, if I'm completely honest with you. Yeah, man, I've done a video on him. Victor Roque is welcome, man. No Arsenal fan should be disappointed in what's happened. It's clearly a squad for top four and you're overachieving. It's a free hit. Enjoy the ride. Not time to give up on the Arsenal. We'll win the league this year. Got to win it on a football pitch, man. Not Disney Channel statements and slogans and that. Shout out the Polish, man. Big up yourself, man. Is Partey out? Yeah, he is. I haven't seen David Seaman's comments. I'm a Chelsea fan, and I'll tell you, we've been shagged over Mudryk. That guy's got one of the worst fundamentals in a winger I've seen. It's like he's never played pro football. By God's grace, he never succeeds, man. Call me deluded. Hey. But City could easily drop points in the next few weeks, especially with the Champions League coming up, Newcastle and Vieira away, and Liverpool coming up for them. I hope so. But, their players keep talking about going on a run. Man United is in the title race, and if we're not careful, we might finish 4th or 5th. The squad should be rotated more often for freshness and agility. I hear you, but a lot of people want rotation. But rotation for what sake? And you can't ask for us to have consistency and not rotate. Like, who needs rotation within that side, really, apart from Martinelli? Off the top of my head, and maybe Xhaka on form. DG, I just feel there's a pattern of disappointment when it comes to transfers, from Vlahovic to Felix to Mudryk to Caicedo to Savic. It's just crazy. I'd say, with the exception of Savic, I would say the other lot, yeah, and throw in Douglas Luiz, because, it just hasn't ended, and there's been actual legs towards bringing them players in. We are still hurting since we didn't utilize our chances very well. We could still be top. We can't look to the past. The future brings anxiety. There's no time like the present, and the present being today. Do what you can today to shape up tomorrow, innit? And that would be winning against Aston Villa and then focusing on Leicester away. Once again, Fulham are a very well coached side. I wish we played them already. I'll take a win anyhow it comes. Trossard instead of Martinelli. William Defo looking to dunk on us. Amen. William looks like a completely different player with them bad shirts, man. He's going to be on something. 72 likes. Can we keep it going, folks? What else is going on in the world of Arsenal? Don't forget, people, 11:30, we're going live, doing up the watch along. What else has come out in the world of Arsenal? Mikel Arteta's lack of rotation has caused problems as Arsenal see their 8-point lead wiped out. Serious bottling. Daily Mail not going easy on us at all. Arteta has gone overboard with his angry head on. It's not helping Arsenal's cause, says Graham Souness. Bloody hell. Leave the guy alone, man. Already onto him. Fair enough. This is what the media gets. Let me scroll the way up. Predictions. 2-1 Arsenal. I got to think positive, man. No players available to rotate. I mean, I hear you. Holding. Fabio Vieira, why not? But for who, though? Holding. Switch up his tactics to what? I hear you in that maybe people are reading us. You isolate our fullbacks. There'll be spacing behind. We've got mistakes collectively throughout our team. You isolate our wingers. You kind of get onto Zinchenko. You've won it, but rotate it to what? Rotate the deep players to what? Of course, you could always adapt. You could always adapt your tactics and things, but his positive stubbornness to stay in the way he is and his consistency has got us into this point where, like someone said, overachieving. I'm not a fan of rotating for the sake of rotating. Rotate Odegaard for what? And who goes in there? Yeah, Odegaard, watching the game again, quality in the first half, went missing in the second. He's one of our top goal scorers and one of our better players. Like, rotate for what? Especially now that you've got Partey gone, do you really want to mess up unbalance the midfield even more when you haven't really got that many street smart or experienced players? Does it really make sense? Kyrgios in midfield? Nah, man. Not today. Let the man find his feet first, then do all of that. But I mean, if he could play anything close to Partey in that role, why not? I think Jorginho, Xhaka, Odegaard is what goes out there personally. You get so handsome. Well, my mum and dad met each other. And two people love each other. They produce a lovely kid in it. What can I say, man? Minding my business, lovely skin routine. Just being the young, I can't lie. I just have to thank God, man. Like, shout out the baby mums out there. I'm chatting, man. Who do you want to start for Arsenal? Ramsdale, Gabriel Saliba, Ben White, Zinchenko. I would be open to Zinchenko in midfield, but Partey's injury throws a spanner in the works. Let me start again. Ramsdale, Zinchenko, Benjamin White, Saliba, Gabriel Saliba, Granit Xhaka, Jorginho, Martin Odegaard, Trossard, Saka, Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, I wish Smith Rowe was fit though, man. If he's on the bench, Smith Rowe has to come off that bench. Other than the motivational qualities Arteta seems to have, he still doesn't seem to have a tactical plan B. Changing one player for another is not enough. Amen. You saw Pep Guardiola, back three weren't really working. Back four patterned us. If we want to reach for a positive, at least Jesus will be back soon. I beg that we win before that time, though. Hope you're good, DG. I hear that. We'll appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, but it could be all set in stone, man, before he comes back. The drop in class between first and second is appalling. Keep up the Mudryk slander. Amen. Need another good season from Mitoma before a team should move in for him. I hear that. Do not make the same mistakes again. Do not pass at own goal area and give Villa goals. Thoughts on Smith Rowe at left 8? He's not as good defensively as Xhaka, but seems to fit the attacking role perfectly. I do think he'll end up there. Like, if you remember Brighton, ironically, we got smacked against Brighton at the Emirates last year. But if you remember Lokonga as the 6 and you had Odegaard and Smith Rowe rotating 8 either side, I think it was the right idea, wrong time in history to be doing that. The team looks tired, DJ. I don't advocate for rotation for the sake of it, but we need to use the squad more, winning or losing. I hear that, but who comes out? And would I say we look tired against City? No, we just made some stupid mistakes and we're a bit rigid. Don't know why Arteta doesn't trust the other squad players. We've seen Vieira and he hasn't shown much, but you have to use your squad regardless. I wouldn't play him today. I mean, I like him a lot. in another day, yeah, man. I mean, I've seen some calls. Some people are saying put Vieira in for Xhaka. I'm not really for that. Like, I do think Arteta could trust these players a lot more, but I don't know, man. I'm happy I'm not Mikel Arteta, if I'm completely honest with you. We'll just have to see, man. I hope we win today. If we win today, it's not all gravy, but it's somewhat gravy, innit? I just think for me, Trossard. You know what, Tomiyasu, I was calling for you to start for a couple of games. I don't want to be reactionary. You can start again, but I just think Benjamin White's got to come in, man. Once again, RIP Christian Atsu, man. It's upsetting, man. It's upsetting, man. Especially spare a thought for his family. 1 minute they're saying he's alive, and unfortunately, you've seen that's come out today that he lost his life. I like Vieira, but you need to eat some hard food first, man. Like, Villa's not going to be nice. And to be fair, Vieira's not the worst of options. If anything, I know Smith Rowe's not fit. Put Odegaard in the Xhaka role for me, and Smith Rowe comes in the 10. Put Trossard off the left. Let's just go full-blown Wenger ball settings. But realistically, Smith Rowe hasn't been able to stay consistently fit. He's not fit to really do a thing. Or even, if Kirill can really play in midfield, slap him in there as well, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, bro, give him all of the... Bro, Bakayo said, bro, you got Saka with the strong food, Eddie and Nketiah with the strong food. There's a yard shop not far from the Emirates. Fabio Vieira, eat that, man. Go and eat some food, mate. Vieira said he's going gym. What is he doing in the gym? You're just doing toning. You're not doing muscle building and that. You need to go bodyworks, man. Not these fancy gyms or go do a gel workout. Not these fancy workouts these footballers do, man. Thoughts on 4-5-1 formation with Odegaard and Vieira behind Eddie with Jorginho holding as a plan B. Why not? Yeah, Bernardo, and that's why I don't get it, because Bernardo Silva's a similar frame, but so talk to your Portuguese brother and see what he's doing. Because it's like Mesut Ozil and David Silva. They're not. David Silva was with the shits. He weren't. All that Fabio Vieira needs to do is 100 burpees, 100 sit-ups, have some protein shakes, steroids. You said that. Whatever Liverpool would give it their players. And he'll be good, man. And I said, Vieira doing Zumba. Something like that. Adeyemi's got to put him on, man. People forget Pep took over a squad of winners. Silva, Aguero, Company, Fernandinho. Mikel has to build that from the ground up. That's cool, bro. That's true as well. But hey, no one care about that. If we're fighting for the league, it don't matter about that. Like, we know this. But you are right. Them man are street smart. We're not. But this is where we're at. Like, this is what we're dealing with. So we're going to have to get on with it, man. We're going to really have to get on with it. Just because I'm wary of time, people, I want to freshen up. I want to eat some food. Yeah, so I'm going to leave you lot for now. We're live in just under an hour, people. I'm live at 11:30 with you lot. First things first, thank you for joining me this morning, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Thank you for your talking points. Hope you all join me for Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Need to make the graphics for that as well. So yeah, man, I'll see you lot in a bit, people. Stay blessed, stay safe. Smash the like button if you haven't. Peace.
Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Against this right back.
There's always just that active red flag. Defenders, I think, it's like.